Ladies and gentlemen, now we need to talk about this shit. If you've been living under a rock, then you have no idea who the man, Andrew Tate, is. Now, for the 99% of everyone who does know who he is, you either love this man or you absolutely despise this man. You can call him a misogynistic man or you can call him, a traditional man. But whichever way you want to go with Mr. Andrew Tate right now, he has some serious charges going on for him, forcing women to do things, against their will, coercion, manipulation, all of this stuff. He's in Romanian jail right now. So, he's been on house arrest lately. He went and had an interview with the BBC. Now, everybody knows that that's just a dumb idea. So let's go and see what he does in this interview. Keep in mind that he has trial this month. And there's no jury. It's just the judge. So, in my opinion, I'd be scared. Let's go see what's going on right here.
Now, the BBC has questioned the controversial social media influencer Andrew Tate at his home in the Romanian capital, Bucharest. Tate is under house arrest and being investigated by Romanian prosecutors for accusations including rape, human trafficking and exploiting women, which he denies. The BBC challenged him on whether his views about women broadcast to his millions of online followers harmed young people, as many teachers and police officers claim. Well, the interview, which had no set conditions, was Tate's first since being released into house arrest from police custody last month. Lucy Williamson reports now from Bucharest.
The first thing I'm going to say is no set conditions. I mean, why would you do this? You're a millionaire. You know what I mean? And this takes me back to all the other criminals who did do an interview before going to trial or before being found guilty. You have Chris Watts. He went to the media trying to say he didn't do it. You have O.J. Simpson. Tons of media. You know O.J. did it. Anyway, we have all these guys who ran to the media to try to cover their names. It's not a good idea. Now we have Andrew Tate here going to the media. I thought he would be smarter than this, lawyer up. Those are your only saviors right now. Depend on your lawyers and keep your mouth shut. You know what I mean? But let's see what goes on.
We are doing an interview with you because you're facing some very serious allegations.
Correct.
Rape, human trafficking.
Yep.
And also because there's a great deal of concern about the things you say and the impact that they have on young people, on women.
First thing I'm going to say, completely objectively, right? That has nothing to do with the trial. This interview is starting out to be a complete ambush and waste of time. Now you can ask these questions like, okay, you're charged with these crimes, this and that. Now let's get into, the things that they have against you. Let's go into your conditions in jail. Let's go into your house arrest conditions, things like that. But no, she switches over. And more importantly, people think that you're dangerous. You see what I'm saying? She doesn't stick to the case. She quickly turns it over to, oh, and people don't like you because you're misogynistic. Oh, people don't like you because of this. If you're going over here because we're talking about, trafficking, let's go over here and talk about trafficking. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think the concern's about the things I say. I think the concern is for the level of influence I have and the reach I have.
Let's start with the allegations. Have you raped anybody?
Absolutely not.
Have you trafficked anybody?
Absolutely not.
Exploited any women for money?
Absolutely not.
But you have admitted using emotional manipulation to get women to work in the webcam industry for you.
No. We have an open criminal investigation. I am absolutely and utterly sure I'll be found innocent. I know the case better than you. I know it intimately and you don't. I have seen all the criminal files and the evidence against me and you haven't. I know the truth of what happened and you don't. And I'm telling you absolutely and utterly, I've never hurt anybody, that the case that's been put against me is completely and utterly fabricated, and I'm never going to be found guilty of anything.
Now, Andrew Tate right now has 0% need to force himself onto anybody. You know what I mean? Not right now. He's too rich to ever need to do that. Unless he's just a sick guy. Personally, I don't think he ever did anything like that to someone physically himself forcing himself to another woman, but that doesn't mean that, you know, he wasn't doing some shady shit in other places. Like, first of all, Hustlers University. Come on, guys. That's a scam, 100,000%. I knew that. I thought everybody else knew that. But you got some guys who are really buying into this Hustlers University. See, I always saw Andrew Tate as a funny guy. You know, like, he's making all these misogynistic jokes. You know, he's ruffling feathers. I saw him as a troll. He's just going in here to be a troll, and then when everybody's listening to him, he could drop his message, right? And you know, like other YouTubers would say, there's snippets of really good information. You know, work hard, work out. You know, treat yourself right. You know, have a good work ethic. But overall, I don't think that, you know, there would be any need for him to force himself onto anybody. Maybe in the past when he was poor, but not at this point.
It's very difficult for me to answer your in-depth questions because we're sitting here inside of the territory of Romania. I'm beholden to the Romanian legal system, and I'm not going to incriminate myself.
Let me read you then what you have said about what you have done.
Sure.
You have said, my job was to meet a girl, go on a few dates, sleep with her, get her to fall in love with me to the point where she'd do anything I say, and then get her on webcam so we could become rich together.
I don't think that's what I personally said. I think
that's exactly what you said on your website.
No, I've never said that. That's something that you found on the internet. Doesn't mean I've said it.
In your words.
And again, once again, if any female on the planet has a problem with me, I strongly recommend her to go to the police and try and pursue me for criminal charges. I'm actually such a nice person.
And there we go. I feel like even he's steering it back to the criminal side of things. Let's talk about the criminal shit. Now, when I saw this thing pop up, Andrew Tate speaks for the first time about his charges, I'm thinking, oh, we're going to hear the goodies. He's going to start releasing some crumbs of what they have on him. First of all, what do they have on you? Like, solid? Like, what does the case really look like? But no, she just comes over here and asks these generic-ass questions. Oh, people don't like you. You know, you teach these young kids to be misogynistic and to use the women. You know, just the stuff that we hear online all the time. Not saying that it's true or not true. I'm just saying I thought you would have better questions to ask about the case, the criminal charges.
The BBC has spoken to somebody since your arrest who says exactly those things, that with you it's all manipulation, there's an ulterior motive to everything you do.
Is this Sophie? Oh, it's Sophie, the fake name, no face. No,
I was so intent on wanting to please him and wanting him to be happy that I was just kind of, yeah, okay, do whatever you want.
And what is she accused? Has she accused me of a crime, this imaginary Sophie?
She's making the point that there is
Has she accused me of a crime?
Emotional or psychological manipulation.
I've asked you a question, and I've allowed you into my house.
I'm asking you a question.
Correct, but you're not the boss here, because I've allowed you into my house.
I'm asking you the questions.
Correctly, and I'm telling you.
You get to decide the...
See? And this is why you don't have media before trial. This is a complete mess. These two are over here arguing about now what makes me feel like he has some credibility when he said Sophie, is that Sophie, and she didn't respond, or she didn't give him a snarky comment and she just keeps reading through and he's like, and she's just not answering. You know, I just feel like this whole interview was a bit of a waste of time here. This dude needs to shut the fuck up, go talk to his lawyer over there in the corner, and be like, what are we doing for trial? That's what he needs to be doing.
Answers.
No, we're equal here. I've allowed you into my house. You don't come here with a position of authority. I'm doing you the favor as legacy media, giving you relevance by speaking to you. And I'm telling you now, this Sophie, which the BBC has invented, which there's no face of, nobody knows who she is.
The BBC did not invent her.
Of course not. And she, because you never invent anything. Of course not. And she's not filed criminal charges against me. What are we talking about here? What is she saying?
We're talking about emotional manipulation into the sex industry for your financial gain.
Absolute garbage.
I'm describing women who are going to court to accuse you of rape and human
trafficking.
Hasn't gone to
court. Sophie doesn't exist.
I'm describing women who have spoken to the BBC at length.
Sophie doesn't exist.
And other media organisations about what they say is emotional manipulation and coercion. And I'm quoting back to you your own words where you describe
They're not my words.
Coercion and emotional manipulation.
Now those words, she's saying his own words. Oh, you can just go and sleep with him and sleep with him, make him fall in love with you, and get rich together on webcam. That's on his website. So I guess he's kind of saying it, you know, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of snippets all over the internet of him saying wild shit. You know what I mean? Crazy shit. So they're getting all these snippets, but the problem here is you could have had this conversation with him a year ago or way before the charges were filed against him. This is my problem with it. I want to hear questions about the case, bro. Like, let's hear about the house arrest. Let's hear about what trial's looking like. Let's hear about, you know, what the charges would look like if you go to jail. Like, that's what the people want to hear, bro. We don't want to hear about misogyny, bro. We know about that, okay? We got people who love him. We got people who hate him. Shitty interview by this lady so far. Shitty.
Found on the internet, and Sophie doesn't exist.
On your
let's
website,
move on to the next subject.
in your voice.
Move on to the next subject.
No, I think I'll stick on this one for a minute. So there's other places in that same website where you say you get girls to fall in love with you, and they do it because they love you.
See, she said there's other places on that website. That's where they're lifting this text from. So, I mean, he could have typed it out, or his editor did it, but it's coming from him.
They want to do what you say. Convincing women to take part in some kind of business arrangement doesn't work long term because they're emotional. You've got to get them to fall in love with you. That's coercion. That's emotional manipulation. That's abuse.
What you've found are clips from the internet, some text from the internet, and you're going to sit here and tell me that that's the reason I should be.
Your website, your words.
It's not my website.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Whose website is it?
Check my website. Next.
It's the website you've taken down, and I wonder why those comments have been taken down.
No website's been taken down. My website is the same, and it's been the same for a very long time. You are accusing me, I'm guessing, what you're trying to say is you're accusing me, and you're trying to say that I'm guilty of the things I'm accused of, and that I'm emotionally manipulating people.
I'm saying that you have said you emotionally manipulated.
And where's the common ground questions, right? When you go into an interview with another dictator of a different country, you don't like him. You think the shit he does is wrong. But you don't go in there and say, hey, you do that to all these people. You're bad, and you should go to jail. Nah, you go over there and you be like, okay, you know, how much people are in your population? Okay. How many businesses do you have for you know, export, for, you know, how many companies do you have for import? I don't know the logistics of all that, but you have the conversation, and then you get to it. She just comes in here just hammering away. You did this and you did that. This is a shitty interview. I mean, it would have been good if she came with the heat, but properly. You know what I mean?
People here for your own financial gain.
No, absolutely not.
It's not only about the criminal allegations. It's a much bigger issue. You've got children's organisations in the UK. You've got rape.
Pause it one more time. I swear to God. See, it's not only the criminal allegations. Well, get up and go home. Go back to the BBC News real quick, and it's over. Because the interview on the top, allegations for what? Yeah, that word. So, like, come on, what are we talking about? It's also about kids' organizations. What are we talking about? Get him canceled if you want to cancel him, but this is a criminal case we want to talk about. This is the criminal case we want to hear about.
Organisations in the UK. You've got the police naming you by name as someone who has a harmful influence on children and on women in the UK and elsewhere because of the things you say, because of the way you present gender relations, the way you say men should treat women.
That's very upsetting. And the reason that's very upsetting is because I know that's not true. I'm genuinely a good person. I believe my impact on the world is positive.
The reason we're asking you about these comments is because we've got the chief executive of Rape Crisis naming you individually as spreading a dangerous ideology of misogynistic rape culture.
Absolute.
It's the comments you make that are leading people to say things like this.
Absolute garbage.
National organisations who are saying that are blaming you for increasing levels of misogyny. Schools that are saying they are having increased incidents of girls being attacked, of female teachers being harassed
if that was
by
true,
pupils.
Female teachers being harassed. It's a great language. I like the accent, man. It's a great accent. Not gonna lie. Shout out the UK, guys. Love y'all. And to all the comments saying do cases in different countries, I hear you. I'm just overloaded at work lately. Soon I'm gonna have some days off, and we're really gonna get some deep dives in the UK and Australia because I know two of y'all been shouting me out. I hear y'all.
Because of you and your teaching and your influence.
That's absolute garbage. I have never ever encouraged a student to attack a teacher, male or female, ever. I preach hard work, discipline. I'm an athlete. I preach anti-drug. I preach religion. I preach no alcohol. I preach no knife crime. Every single problem with modern society, I'm against.
But
I'm teaching young men to be disciplined, to be diligent, to listen.
And when he says he's teaching, anti-knife crime, remember, this is on the other side of the world. The UK is right over there, right? They're stabbing people up left and right. It's a poke fest over there, bruh. You see a man with a knife, it's like he got a Glock on him. That shit's crazy out there. It's absolutely wild. You go out to the UK, you're not going to get shot, buddy. They're going to walk up on you. You're just going to be leaking. That shit's wild. I prefer to get shot. I ain't going to lie. Maybe I'm an American, but I prefer to get fucking shot than get stabbed up, bro. Fuck that.
To train, to work hard, to be exactly like me. And I'm saying that if men grew up like me, which are hardworking and diligent and some emotional control and stoic, we're going to have a better society, not a worse society. To sit here and say that schools in England, which is a failing nation, which has knife crime going through the roof, violence going through the roof, men's mental health going through the roof, and they're going to all blame me because I appeared on the internet 1 year ago.
You sell an image of success.
Disingenuous. It's disingenuous.
You sell an image of financial success with a Bugatti and a cigar, but it comes with a side order of misogyny.
How does having a Bugatti and a cigar come with misogyny?
I am asking you about things that you have said that have caused major national organizations, including the police, to worry about you by name. That's what I'm asking you about.
It's not what I said.
It's about what you have said that has caused such concern in the UK. And I want to put it to you that you don't really care about the harm it causes.
That's not true.
Because
that's not true.
Making controversial statements like this online has made you a lot of money.
Okay, so first thing, I genuinely...
Making controversial statements like that has made him a lot of money. And you know what? Who gives a fuck? We want to hear about the criminal allegations. Ask him those questions. But no, the influence on the UK and the children and the influence. And so you know what that means? They have nothing. And they could have at least been on a neutral level with the man and asked him some honest questions and put some, bring some actual facts out. But instead, they just joust with each other. How big is your dick? My dick's bigger than yours. They're having, come on, man. They're having a dick measuring contest right now.
You may not understand that yet, but you will eventually. And I genuinely believe I'm acting under the instruction of God to do good things, and I want to make the world a better place. I genuinely believe my legacy is a good legacy, and I believe that eventually, when the legacy media catches up, they're going to understand I'm a good, positive influence. I'm not interested in damaging the world for money, because if I was interested in damaging the world for money, I could have sold drugs, or I could make rap music and encourage everyone to stab each other like all the drill artists do.
Or you could make controversial statements online that attract a lot of followers who you then direct to your website, where they pay to learn how to be like you.
I mean, I could make jokes online. Who doesn't? I mean, I could make a joke online.
Are you saying that all the controversial things you've said are jokes?
No, I'm saying that these organizations and the BBC who are going to sit here and pretend that I am the face of damaging the youth is absolutely garbage. It's completely disingenuous.
It makes you money.
And the reason, in fact, I've seen thousands and thousands of comments and have endless emails from women praising praising the fact that their sons are listening to me.
Does it not worry you?
The fact that they're...
Nah, bro. If my son was listening to Andrew Tate, I'd say, hey, hold up, son. He's 14 or some shit. I'd be... Hey, hold up, son. Have you heard of this bald-headed man named David Goggins? Check him out, man. You heard about this other bald-headed man named Joe Rogan? Yo, so check this out. These 2 podcasts, you're going to fuck with it. That's what I hit him with. Shout out David Goggins. Look him up, man. Read his books. Great guy.
The things I'm saying, does it not worry you?
It would worry.
Are you not concerned about your influence?
It would worry me if I was genuinely damaging the world. But for you to sit here and say, Andrew, you've become the most Googled man in the world, you have billions of views, and one woman, is now saying that her husband is not the same man she wants him to be, when thousands and thousands of people are saying the opposite, well, then I would say
I've presented you with case after case after case, with quote after quote after quote of people who are genuinely concerned about the impact you're having, and you brush it off as if it's nothing.
No, what you have done is come here with an agenda. You've come here with loaded questions. You've come here with things taken out of context. You come here with things that you don't understand are satirical, and then you're going to also sit and say that one woman said that her boyfriend changed when he watched one of your videos. And then I don't know what you expect me to say to that.
Sarcastic, and jokes. No, that's how you explain the comments you make.
For you to sit down...
Would you like to apologize for any of them?
For you to sit down... for you to sit down... It's fine. No, it's fine. It's easy. For you to sit down and say that one woman...
What did his lawyer say?
It's fine. No, it's...
Okay, I think we're gonna have to. And then he was like, no, it's fine, it's fine. See what the lawyer's saying? Okay, I think we're gonna have. Yes, shut up, bro. Like, shut up. Like, what are you doing? This is ego. I'll chalk it up to ego because there's no reason to be talking to this woman. And it's not even like they're having a conversation to bring out his character or to know what's going on with behind the scenes, his house arrest or his dates of court. You know, it's this month. We didn't talk about court not once so far. It's this month, but we haven't talked about court yet. Like, come on. What are we doing?
It's fine, it's easy. For you to sit down and say that one woman said that her boyfriend watched an Andrew Tate video and now he won't do the dishes.
Schools.
Or whatever your argument is.
Police.
And that I'm somehow the worst, most dangerous man in the world because I have a car. Is just disingenuous. If you actually watch the things I say, if you actually watch my comments about women, I've done long podcasts for hours long about females, talking about protecting for them, providing for them, how I believe a woman should be treated in a relationship. I've done all of this.
And yeah, that was pretty much the vibe, you know, the vibration. Tate, shut the hell up, bro. You know, love him or hate him, this was a bad move. Terrible move. I want to say a guilty looking move. Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe it's a panic move as well, but either way, it's non-excusable. You went out here and you kind of looked like a jackass and argued. And the BBC woman looked like a jackass, just arguing. She looked like she just woke up this morning, saw some shit on Facebook, saw some shit on Instagram, whatever, went online for about 15 minutes and started the interview. Like, if you know you're going to get millions of views because it's going to be about Andrew Tate and you basically clickbait us that's about his allegations, at least have the questions to ask. You're over here talking about misogyny and how the police feel about his influence, bro. And you have the thing titled allegations. Like, come on, bro. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Tate, you know, doing his thing, you know, not listening to his lawyers. I'm pretty sure all his lawyers told him, don't take this interview. But anyway, you know, he probably said, let me make some more money so I can pay y'all. Who knows? But anyways, y'all, stay inside, stay safe. You know, don't go out here doing all this crazy shit. And don't be saying crazy shit online because, hey, if you end up going to jail or going to court for some shit and you say wild things like this, they'll use it against you. You know what I mean? But until then, y'all, peace.